Hello all, right, I just want to do a short one. It kind of touches on stuff that I've done before, but then a lot of my videos do touch on stuff that I've done before, because I've done a lot of videos, and then by definition they're going to, weren't they, really? And it's to do with when you can make the most on a job, and when maybe you shouldn't. And it's all brought about because today I had a job, and I do my usual job over at Saffron Walden. Then I got one picking up, and it was coming out of Braintree going to Stansted. You get decent money, it's in a truck. I'm halfway to Stansted, and the geezer turned around and he goes, it's a vital aircraft part. So I've told you that. They need this on a hurry up. There's an aircraft in Spain that is currently grounded and can't move until it gets its bit. They need it there. They told me when I rung him, I said, look, I'm like an hour away. By the time I've tipped, he said, you are definitely an hour away, aren't you? Because they need this in the hurry up. So I said, well, let me put it in the sat nav. I was 5 minutes away from my tip. I knew how long my tip took. And I went, yeah, I'll be there at 10:30. I was there at 10:25. So I was there. I know they needed a lorry. I know they needed one on a hurry up. So they've instantly got themselves on the back foot. I get halfway there. The geezer goes, right, it's supposed to go to Stansted. Can you take it to East Midlands Airport? But we'll come to that. So there were times we've discussed before, and hang on, I've lost my thing here. Hold on. And I wanted to bring this one up. And it was something where it was C11 Yan said, and he does a lot of film stuff. I know he does, because Franz does stuff for him, and he does the Bootleg Beatles and all that kind of stuff. And he said it was a bank holiday. It was for the film industry. I can't remember the detail. Here it is. No, it's not. I've lost it. My bit of paper's gone. And he basically said, got 900 quid. But he hasn't got the details in it. I don't forget the size of the lorry and all that kind of stuff. But there are some things you want to pick into that. Firstly, bank holiday. No one wants to work on a bank holiday. Secondly, film industry. Anything that's done for the film industry, they've got budgets. They've got dough going on there. They've got money going on there. So you can quote, and don't get me wrong, if that goes on the exchange, it's probably going to sell for normal money. But he has spent a lot of time building up his own decent clients, and that man works. Ian, if you're listening, take a day off, mate. He never takes a day off. He works all the time. He's worked hard to get where he is. But if you work through it and you get there and you get your own customers and you do a decent job and you make sure that everything's right, you never say no, it can be a lucrative return. But that's what I didn't want to talk about. I've talked about that kind of stuff before. If you're prepared to run on a bank holiday, if you're prepared to work weekends, if you're prepared to meet the shippers in the middle of nowhere at 11 o'clock at night, you guarantee you're going to get a lot more money for them jobs, because no one wants to do them. What I want to cover with this one is the 2 times where you can get them and whether you should or not. So there's the lucrative return. That's where you've got somewhere and they've gone, no mate, can't take this, or these pallets aren't right, or this was supposed to be here yesterday, or no, I'm not accepting that because they're supposed to be sealed and they're not sealed. So you ring the shipper and they go, right, can you take it back? And then there's the other time when you could turn around and say, if you can take it back, sometimes you can't. There was a time where I couldn't, where I'd done a job from like Andover to London, and I'd give them a price, and it was a booking time. It was going into this, they said it's hit or miss whether you get in or not. It was going to a building site, but a building site in the city. So they were letting me in one lorry at a time, booked in one lorry at a time. Then there was some confusion with my, with the name, and then by the time I sorted out the name, the woman said, you missed your slot now. I mean, it's like 2 minutes past 3. I had between 2:30 and 3. She said, yeah, now you lot 3 o'clock. So I had to ring them up, and they went, can you take it back? And I went, no, in the nicest possible way, because if I've got to take this back, I'm going all the way back to Andover, then going all the way back. The reason I gave her the job and the price and all that was because it's taking me to London. This one I'm Luton in the city. I can go home. I'm an hour away from home. What I ended up doing was then I had to meet someone to take it off me, and that was a ball ache, because I had to meet him half hour away. Then he was a bit late, but not his fault, like, you know. Then we had to transfer the goods, and I thought I got waiting time for transferring the goods over, but part of me thought this would have been easier just to say yes, driven back to Andover, then driven all the way home again, like, you know. So there's the lucrative return when they say, can you take it back? You can go, yeah, I can, but it's going to cost you. And there's the other one where the job's gone wrong, like this one. It's like, it was supposed to go here, but now it's got to go here. Can you do it? In which case you can say, yeah, I can, but it's going to cost you. So the question is, should you kick them? And my answer is no. And the reason why I say no, for two reasons basically. A lot of the time the lucrative return is going to take you back to your house. Because chances are you took that job first thing and they've said, right, can you drive it from Milton Keynes up to Derby? And it's like, Derby's not working now. Can you take it back? They know where you're based. They might turn around and go, where are you based, mate? Where'd you come out of? I come out of Luton. They're thinking, you're driving home. You're getting it for driving home. So if you can, give me as a backload. If you can, because you go, like, I tell you what, my friend, what I'm going to do, I'm going to run that all the way back. If you say I'm going to run it back for the same money, that's not too scary. Or you could go, look, I'm going to return that back and return miles. I'm going to charge you half, I'm going to charge you 2/3. Because you think about it in your head, I've driven there, I've driven back. I'm not taking time to go to get my next load. I don't know what my next load's going to be. It could be painful. It could be, it's really difficult, or you can't go in, or you can't find the place, or it's not ready. This one is on your motor already. You drive it back to the place you picked it up from, so you know where it is, drop it off and go, there you go. And as for does it go wrong, the guy turned around and said, can you take it to East Midland Airport? And I looked at my clock and I went, yeah, I don't see any reason why not. And I said, the thing is, mate, we run at £3 a mile, because it's a 7.5 ton job. It's only one box. And he went, okay. He said, look, do your best. He said, do the best you can for me, please. So I looked at it, and it was 140 miles, charging for £100. And I bear in mind, it's saying a backload to me. I'm going all the way up to Derby, then I've got to do the journey home. Now, I was getting £180 for doing Braintree to Stansted. That's 15 miles. So pro rata, the Braintree to Stansted job would have been worth more money. But then I would have wanted to find another one, or I'd have gone home empty. And when you look at it, the mileage is different. But Stansted to base, hour and a quarter. Derby to base, hour and a half. Admittedly, Braintree to Stansted, half an hour. Braintree to East Midlands Airport was 2 3/4 hours. I'm going to have a tour out of it. So what I would say is, if you try to be fair. We're trying to be fair in the game. We're all in it together. We're all human beings. It ain't his fault that things gone wrong. And there's dough in it. So also, if you do a good job and you're fair, he's going to look at that and go, oh, that geese was pretty decent. I'll use him again. So there is the thing. There are the times where you can get it because it's out of hours. It's a million miles away. It's unsociable. No one wants to go there. And there are times when you can kick them, but the times when you can kick them, don't kick them, because there's a karma thing going on here. It'll just kick you. So I'm going to go that Norris back reverse into me. Right, put this one up. I want to do another one this week, Godzilla's thing about the zone thing. It's getting on my nerves. Take care. Take money.